Hello, I'm David Bosek, and this is Part 2, Video Issues, Section D, Part 2 of my Moon Hoax series, which is a continuing series on my news magazine channels. Please make a note, I am David Bosek. I'm a real person running political news magazine channels on YouTube and Rumble, and I do not use AI in the creation or the editing of any of my videos. Please also note that the information in this video and in the next video mostly come from Trevor Weaver's book. I analyze the data in his book, and I also come up with my own theories within the moon hoax theories. I have some of my own opinions about some of this stuff. So here we go. One big issue with the LM or the spaceship in the faking is that there were uses of models used within the moon hoax. The video of the LM or the spaceship landing on the moon has issues in of itself. According to Weaver, it's a camera tracking over a model. There's striation lines in the model, meaning when they're first landing on the moon, you can see these lines on the surface, which means that model was put together somewhere. It's all fake. There's a lot of yellow flags coming up even with that. There's anomalies between what the set looks like and the model, meaning there's differences between the photo surface of the moon versus when they're first landing on the moon. There are differences when you watch the videos, in my opinion. It's all fake. In Apollo 15, 2 people supposedly took 1 photo every minute according to Weaver. This is impossible. In my opinion, it's not even remotely reality. Another major red flag. The video and the photographic evidence doesn't prove any of this with the speed of the photos. There's problems with the videos of the ascent stage blasting off of the moon according to Weaver and others. Apollo 17 doesn't even look like a ship coming off the moon. It all just looks fake. There's anomalies in 15 and 16 too. One pops up like a wine or a champagne cork without a flame, which in my view would be impossible with combustion. It looks almost like some sort of a movie, according to Weaver and myself and pretty much all the other researchers. Researcher Jarrell White, who I've watched quite a bit on the internet, I've read about him, he brings up some good technical points about all this, thinks it's a joke. When it comes to the simulation of gravity, contraptions and devices were used, in my view, to simulate gravity or lower gravity in these training videos, which could be used to fake all this. There's odd physical actions of the Astros in literally all the videos. There's different scenes with diverse speeds put together. NASA removes videos not fitting their narrative, which I've talked about before in the videos. There's also something called the gravity of the falling sand problem, or that's what I call it. That's on page 269 of the Weaver book. Sand falls at Earth's gravity in the big Navy salute by Astro John Young in Apollo 16. NASA made mistakes and couldn't fake it all. But there's major errors or anomalies in this particular video. It's all fake. There's no way that would be possible when you've got discrepancies with gravity. Basically, it was a moon set. It was a movie. Apollo 11 touched down in a flat area, but you should still be able to see lunar mountains in the backdrop. You can't see this in the photos. There's all kinds of problems with all this throughout the Apollo program. According to Weaver, the fakery got better as Apollo progressed as a program. I don't completely agree with that. I actually think in some of the photos and videos, the fakery got worse. It depends what you look at. Some of the fakery got more obvious with these horrible fake backdrops and more issues with the videos, and especially about 1972, in my opinion. Apollo 11 could have been shot at the Pinewood Studios in England, according to Weaver. Yeah, that could be true. That was tied to Stanley Kubrick. Remember, in his movie 2001, there's a moon scene. There's some sort of a moon scene, either about a moon landing or something on the moon. I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't matter. There's a fairly long moon scene in that film on the surface of the moon. The Astros are actors. You can't even see under the visors, meaning they could be anybody. There's no way to totally prove it. NASA can tell you anything. In Apollo 17, the supposed last man on the moon, the late Eugene Cernan, has his gold visor up. Now you have visors up on the moon? You would probably be severely injured, passed out, or dead if you actually did this. If on the moon, you would probably burn up or freeze to death. It wouldn't even be possible, but he did it in at least one of the videos. There might even be other Astros doing it in other videos. It's simply not reality. It's all fake. In my view, there's also a lot of big issues with the lunar ground and the friction that tends to get overlooked. I believe walking on the moon would have been like walking on slippery pavement or something akin to slippery ice because of the fluctuation of temperatures on the moon. The Astros walking or hopping around like rabbits there isn't realistic, in my opinion. I don't think it would have gone down like that. There's also something called the problem with the moon dust fiasco, or that's basically what I call it. Buzz Aldrin's Bootprints are fake. This is all fake. There's dry dust on the moon. According to NASA, or the pro-NASA faction, they say it was damp, which would be impossible because the moon has no atmosphere. The pro-NASA Mythbusters on cable about 10 to 15 years ago proved contra with the moon print than what they intended. They're basically proving that their position is false. This was all faked. The dust would be dry and flaky, or sharp and flaky, in my opinion, is probably what would happen. Or you wouldn't even be able to make moon prints is another possibility, depending on different factors. It's all fake. The oily sand theory. They or NASA or somebody in the government put oil in the sand to stop it from getting in the air, which suggests they were filming at night when they faked this, and there may have been circulation devices for the air, or in my opinion, industrial fans being used to circulate the air somehow. It's possible. The lunar dust sticks to surfaces in the videos, which would be impossible. In reality, the dust would be sharp and flaky and dry, like I had said before. This doesn't add up. It was sticking to stuff in the video, folks. You know it's fake. They were using entities of power to make the air move around somehow, or there was a lot of wind, I don't know. But in the end analysis, this is all fake. None of this adds up. It's total evidence of fakery, especially in the video system with all this. Okay, a few more things before we totally wrap up this video. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the faking of data and the faking of telemetry data within Apollo 11. I'm also going to talk about higher end video fakery that was used in all of this to fake all of this in the next video. Please make a note, I am David Bosak, and I do not use AI in the creation of any of these videos. I am real, and I run news magazines on here. I don't use AI. If you want more information about me, David T. Bosak, my name is David Thomas Bosak. You can Google me or go on other search engines to find out about me as a politician, a political activist, a former candidate for office in the state of Michigan, or other things about me. There's a lot about me in running for office and my resume and stuff like that. You can find it all on Google if you are interested. On to some other stuff. I also am on Goodreads.com. I'm a published author. There's a detailed biography about me on there. And there's a blog on there that I do use from time to time to talk about a lot of different issues and books and movies and political issues. It's all on Goodreads if you want to take the time to take a look at that. There's all kinds of information about me on Google. I have 6X or Twitter accounts on various public issues, and I will talk a little bit more about that in the description. I will list a couple of the major ones that I tend to be on a lot. So I am on all this stuff if you want to take a look at it. I get into more of my personal opinions on most of that stuff. Okay, thanks a lot for your time. I will see you in the next video. It's free to subscribe.